ask for the recording. Okay, so I am Violette Ayala. I'm the founder from City. I'm so excited that you're joining me. I do this every month. It's always the first Tuesday of the month at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And then I email out the replay on Wednesdays. And sometimes I have a corresponding worksheet. So I do have a worksheet for this class today as well. It's in the portal. So if you want to just hop over later on, you can just go to the self-guided worksheets. I think it's on the homepage also, but you can work on the worksheet and also watch the replay of this again. I love teaching, so it just gives me the opportunity to just share, and it just makes me really happy. So I'm going to share my screen. Every time I transition into sharing my screen, it always looks really messy because it's on Canva, and I just wish the transition was smoother. So it's just going to look a little tacky for a second, but just bear with me. And my goal is for us to have time together for 20 minutes. And then we have some Q&A time as well. And then all of you have my email. So if you need anything at all, you can always reach out and email me. Okay, let me share my screen. So close your eyes because it looks always so you can see all the tabs that I have open. I'm looking at fabric now too. So you're going to be able to see like the fabric that I'm looking at. Okay. And I created on Canva because I feel like it's always good to see a visual. So go ahead and just expand that. Okay. So today we're talking about designing your year, and I am going to take the opposite approach. I know sometimes why it's going crazy on its own. My lap has been, let me start from the beginning. Yeah. I know sometimes we feel a little pressure already. It's January 6th. We feel sometimes pressure like, oh my gosh, I was supposed to walk every day and I skipped a day, or I'm supposed to stop eating gluten and I've had gluten. And so I want to make sure that we start this from a place of love and appreciation and no pressure. We are only human. We do the best that we can. So I'm going to give you today what I think are very successful tips for you to have a very strong January. Everything that I share with you today, you can definitely replicate and continue to do that with other goals that you have. This is a class I've been teaching for, I think, like 7 years now. It's usually a 4-week course. We're going to jam it all in together today in like 20 minutes. But it usually is a longer course. It's actually what our accountability program that we just started yesterday. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background about who I am because some of you don't know me. And the reason why I start with this is because there are so many fakes out there. There are people that are teaching that really don't have the experience in that. And so I just want to share with you kind of my background so that you can see that I'm a lot like you. And I've been in this space for a really long time. So I'm the founder of FemCity. We're going on 16 plus years. I'm really excited about that. I'm also a best-selling author, and we have a new guidebook that we just came out with, which is a daily planner. It has intentional prompts. It's made with love. So that's available. I also started my very first business when I was 22 years old. I did not go to Wharton Business School. I never took a business class while I was in college. I really just learned along the way by making lots of mistakes. So I have done every mistake possible. I also owned a Pilates studio for about 10 years. I ran that. It was a women's only Pilates studio. And then I went on to start a marketing PR firm. And then I also had a personal training company. So I've been in this space for a really long time. I've been a speaker. There are tons of typos here. Again, it's just I'm human. So I'm a speaker, and I was a keynote speaker for the SBA and Accenture. I've been quoted in Success Magazine, Entrepreneur, Mary Claire, Cosmopolitan, Glamour, BBC, Good Morning America, Daily Mail TV. I only say that to show that I've been in this space for a really long time, and other publications also value my opinion and my feedback and my thoughts. I also do private one-on-one coaching. You'll never really hear me talk about that because I only can do a couple a month. So I don't really talk too much about that, but I do it. And join me every month. The first Tuesday of the month, I do this for free for you. So I'd love to see you here again and again. And I also lead the virtual networking. It's every other Wednesday is when I lead. So I'd love to see you there too. Those are free resources for you to go ahead and find that support and love that you need. So just a little bit of background about myself so that you know I am the real deal. I've been doing this for a long time. So let's talk about designing your 2026. You probably showed up with a lot of goals. You probably showed up with a lot of things that you want to talk about. I'm going to ask that you just pause on that just for a little bit, just for a second. This is not a class where you're going to walk away feeling overwhelmed. I don't want you to feel like you've already messed up. I really want to focus on doing less, but being more effective. I also want to make sure that we're working with clarity, intention, and grace. And I know that the world is more about hustle and urgency. And I really want to invite you to slow down and just kind of listen a little bit more to yourself. Um, we are going to start off with choosing one goal for 2026. I know that you probably have 10. I know. Um, we're only going to work on one today. My hope is that I give you the tools and the resources for you to have success with that one. And then you take those tools that I've given you or that I will give you and you replicate it so that you can do it with the other goals that you have. When I owned a Pilates studio, January was obviously our busiest month of the year. And I would have my students come to me and say, Violet, this year I'm going to give up coffee and I'm going to give up caffeine and sugar and gluten and dairy. And I'm going to sleep 10 hours a night and I'm going to become vegan and I'm going to run a 5K. And I'm already exhausted, right? Just hearing that, we're all exhausted. So, what does that do when we come in with 10 or 12 goals? We're kind of setting ourselves up for failure, right? It's a lot that we have on our plate. So, that's why I do the opposite. I just ask that we work on one goal. And when you start feeling success, it makes you feel more love. It feels that you are, on track for your destiny. And it gives you the tools again, like that you can just replicate it. So over the next 30 minutes, we're going to focus on just one goal. If you're thinking to yourself, Violet, I don't know what goal that is because I showed up with 10 and they're all equally important. I totally get that. I want you to think of the one that comes to the top of mind. The first one you thought of is generally the one that's the most important to you. This also can be true. We can finish this class and you're like, you know what? Scrap that goal. I don't really care about that goal. That's fine too. You can scratch it later on and then pick another goal. So there's no contract here. There's no, you're not signing in blood. You can definitely change it. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. Let me get to the next step. Okay. All right. So I hope that you have a notebook ready. If not, watch this again later on with a notebook ready. But I want you to ask yourself, I love journaling. I love writing things out. I'm old school. What goal feels alive right now? So again, you might have 10, you may have 20, you may have 5 goals, maybe you have 3 goals, but which is the one that is really just makes you excited? Which is the one that feels alive for you? That's going to help you to center and just pick that one goal. What would make you feel proud and grounded and expanded? I use the example here for 3 months, but I think we should focus on 30 days, 1 month. And then how could I honor only focusing on one? What would it be? If I could honor just focusing on one, what would that goal be? And questions should help you to solidify the goal that you want to focus on while we're together right here. So again, we're just going to focus on one goal. If you have your goal already and you feel comfortable in sharing, add it in the chat. I can't see the chat right now, but add it in the chat so that when I stop sharing, I can go ahead and start reading your comments. So, all right, now we have one goal in mind, or maybe you're kind of thinking about one goal, right? So keep that in the top of your head. Let's go ahead and start working on a strategy. I always like to use the example of if someone tells you, I would love for you to make a vegan key lime pie, what would be the things that you would need to do in order to have that ability to make a vegan key lime pie? You would have to have strategy, right? You'd have to research a little bit to see what it would entail. So I'd have to research recipes. I'd have to see like what tools, what pans would I need, what ingredients I would need, how much time would it take? That's what we're working on today with your goal. We're looking at creating that recipe that's specific for you so that you can create, in essence, your key lime pie, which is your goal. So we are going to, this is just the why, which I'm going to skip over because we're kind of running short. We're already at 1:12. But I want you to spend time later on, hopefully, and just working on your why. Why does this goal matter to you? How will it shift your life? How do you want to feel while working towards it? Really just spending time in the emotion part of your why really helps to make it so that it comes alive and you start feeling the success already. So I'm going to kind of brush through that really quick, but you can do that later on for homework. And then we talked about not being overwhelmed. We talked about focusing on one intentional for that 1 month period. This is a really nice contract for you to do on your notebook. Once you decide what goal you're going to do, I want you to date it because today's the 6th of January. It's not the 1st. So for you to do 30 days, if you want to do February 6th, or if you decide to start taking it on tomorrow, this is just kind of a contractual thing for you to do energetically, to go ahead and start saying, okay, this is when I'm going to start focusing on my goal starting tomorrow, and I'm going to write it until the 30 days passed. Okay. All right. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. All right. So what we're going to do with first, we're going to have that goal in mind. Now we're going to create a list of what are the action plans that we need to do in order to make this goal come to life. So as an example, if you want to write a book, maybe this is the year you want to write a book, or maybe this is the year you want to do a 5K, which I always tell people, if I'm running a 5K, something is wrong with me. Like you will never find me running a 5K. But what are the action steps that you need to take in order to prepare to get your goal accomplished? So if I'm using the example of running a 5K, I probably need to get a pair of sneakers, right? That's probably something I need to get. So that's going to be an action step that I need to get. I also probably need to research a little bit about what's the training going to be like. So I might spend a little bit of time researching 5Ks and training programs. I may also probably need to spend time researching nutrition, right? Should I be taking creatine? Should I be taking protein shakes? Should I be eating a banana? I don't know. So the first step in your strategy is creating 3 to 5 action steps, meaning what will you need to do action-wise in order to move the needle in the direction of accomplishing that goal. So I'm using that 5K as an example. We could use the vegan pie, the key lime pie as an example as well. If I was creating my list of 3 to 5 action steps to create that vegan pie, if that was my goal, I would probably spend time researching recipes for vegan key lime pie. I'd probably spend time looking to see like what products do I need to buy, ingredients, making a list. I'd probably need to see like what pan I need to use, what kind of oven. So that would be my action plan. That would be my what I need to do. So for you, with whatever goal you have, what are 3 to 5 action steps that you need to take on in order to accomplish that goal? If you're saying to yourself, Violet, I have no idea. I have no idea what those action steps are because no one's ever done what I'm going to do, right? Maybe there's something that you're doing that's so innovative, it's so new that you really don't know which way to start because no one's done it before. Look to see who's done something that is as close to it as possible. So as an example, when I started FemCity, no one had really started a FemCity, like no one. I couldn't figure out what the action steps were because there was no example. So instead, I looked to see like how do Chamber of Commerce's run, right? So how are they running their programs? Then I looked to see like how do direct sales people, how do they do that? I looked at franchise models. I looked at pizza companies to see like how they were able to scale. So even those weren't exactly FemCity, they were kind of close that it helped me to gauge what my 3 to 5 action plan steps would be in order to move the needle in that direction. So that's step 1. So you do have homework, by the way. Your homework is get your 1 goal. Second part of homework is your 3 to 5 action steps as to what you're going to take on. Here's number 3 homework. When are you going to take this on? Because I can give you all the steps already. I can email it to you, but if you do not set yourself up for success, meaning you're not going to add it into your calendar, you're not going to take it on, right? So I want you to really think about when are you going to work on this goal? As an example, when I wrote my first book, I had 3 kids in 3 different schools. I was already doing FemCity. I was consulting. I was speaking. I honestly did not have time during the week between all the carpools and picking up and the homework and making dinner and getting them to all their sports. I was exhausted. So for me, it was Sunday morning, waking up at 6 a.m. when all the kids were sleeping in, that I worked on my book. So I put that in my calendar as when. So this is a commitment for you. These are your time blocks. You're going to put them in your calendar and you're not going to cancel on it because you honor yourself. You love yourself. You're going to prioritize yourself. Maybe you need to say no to some things for 30 days. And you can use me as an example or as an excuse. You can be like, Violet, I'm taking Violet's masterclass and I'm not allowed to take on any new commitments for the next 30 days because I'm working on a certain goal. Totally use me as an excuse. Put yourself first. prioritize yourself as much as you possibly can for 30 days when it comes to your goal. And then the third one is, how are you going to do it? How are you going to hold yourself accountable? How are you going to check? For me, I love doing like end of day reviews. I kind of like, it's not to make myself feel bad. It's just to say, where did I move the needle a little bit? And where can I improve? And how can I celebrate myself? This is a really big piece. There's no benefit in making us feel bad. There's no benefit. The time that we spend in calling ourselves a loser, I'm never going to make anything happen in my life, I constantly letting myself down. When we spend time in that space, nothing good happens from there. That does not help us at all. It actually hurts us. So we're not going to even talk about that. So if you have a day or two that you have not worked on your goal, it's okay. It's okay. Maybe sometimes you just think about the goal. Maybe you didn't do the action steps, but you spend time thinking about the goal and processing it and kind of working on the energy of that goal. So how are you going to hold yourself accountable? For me, again, I like doing just a nightly kind of review, look at my to-do list, see where I move the needle. I like to say, could I have done better? What could I have not removed from my plate in order to do this? So again, you could do it daily, or you can do it at the end of the week, right? You could do it at the end of the week and just review and say, how did I do this week? And make sure you celebrate yourself. When we celebrate ourselves, it increases our happiness and increases our joy, our self-love for ourselves. And it also makes us that we're more expansive. And when we're more expansive, we receive more, right? So you have homework. So now you have four pieces of homework. Your goal, what are your 3 to 5 action steps? When are you going to take that on? And then how are you going to hold yourself accountable? Is it going to be through a daily check-in? Is it going to be a weekly? And also, how are you going to celebrate yourself? Make sure that you celebrate yourself above everything else. If you say one negative thing about yourself, maybe add 5 beautiful things about yourself so you can kind of counteract that little thought that you have that might be holding you back. Okay, so let me skip through the next one. Okay, so you're not alone to do this. You have me, you have all of us here as well. Think about who can support me in this season. So if you're doing a 5K as an example, maybe there's another friend who also mentioned she's doing a 5K. So maybe that's someone that you can actually reach out to and say, hey, would you like to work on this together? Like, I know you're doing it and I'm doing it. Maybe if you're writing a book, maybe you have another friend, maybe at FemCity, who's also writing a book. Maybe you guys can meet once a week and just, support each other in that. So look to see what additional support you could have in the next 30 days. It's really going to be very powerful for you just to focus on the 30 days again, because you're going to feel so good about your goals and achieving it and accomplishing it that in February, you're going to repeat this for all those other goals that you want to go ahead and take on. So look to see also what structure helps me stay aligned. What works for you? Everyone is different. Is it a weekly check-in? Is it adding calendar reminders? Is it having an accountability program or a partner? Is it your community? Maybe it's FemCity. Maybe it's the local Chamber of Commerce. Maybe it's your Bible study group. Whatever it is, look at see like what your support system is. So here, I have it blank here, but later on when you're doing your homework, think about who your support system is. Sometimes we have women come to us and say, I have no support system. I have none. No one in my family is supporting me. My friends don't understand what I'm doing. If that's the case, definitely leverage the FemCity community. I promise you that you will find best friends in that community. And I'll share a little bit about some free resources at the end. Additionally, I want you to, again, celebrate and acknowledge where you have progressed. Even if you feel like it was a little tiny movement, maybe it wasn't as big of a jump as you thought, just celebrating makes a huge, huge deal for you energetically and also spiritually. Doing one check-in point, again, whether it's during the day, in the evening, at the end of the week, I just don't want it to be that you do your check-in December 31st of 2026, because that's when we feel really bad about ourselves, right? We look at the year and we're like, oh my gosh, the whole year went by and I feel really bad because I was going to do all these things and I didn't. So that's why I'm a huge believer in kind of doing those common, regularly, often check-in points so that we stay connected to the vision that we have for ourselves. Also think about one boundary to protect your energy. So maybe there's someone in your life that doesn't believe in you. Maybe there's a bad juju person that lingers about. Maybe for the next 30 days, maybe just keep them at bay for a little bit, right? I always say you can love people from afar. So maybe just say, you know what, for the next 30 days, I'm really going to focus on this goal. I'm going to limit my time with that bad juju person just until I can get kind of grounded and rocking and rolling. Because you definitely don't want to have someone in your life that's going to make you feel bad or, tell you, well, that's stupid or that's silly or you're never going to, that's never going to happen. So just think about maybe some boundaries that you might have to implement for 30 days. And again, it comes from a place of love. We can love from far away. So keep that in mind as well. And then sharing your progress with a trusted person or a group. There's another typo there. So I actually love using having the typos because then you can see that I didn't use ChatGPT for that. So this can be your weekly virtual networking with us. If you want to join me for virtual networking, it's free for our members, even if you do the trial membership. So if you see me, part of our format is to share a recent win. So if you are just wanting to share a recent win, totally do it with me or Lynn. Lynn runs the other, we alternate every other Wednesday. So it's either one or the other. So you have us to help you and celebrate you. So I'd love to cheer you on along the way as well. So I'm going to share a couple more little resources and then we can do Q&A. So we have a Facebook group. It's free for you. Definitely use this. You can share your wins. I promise you, no one's going to be like, who's that sharing her win? Like, tag me, tag one of your friends there. I would love to celebrate you. Definitely leverage the Facebook group. You do not have to be a paid member in order to access this Facebook group. It's for all women. So make sure that you use that, celebrate your wins. If you're having some challenges, post it there too. There are no mean people at FemCity. If they are, they generally leave, or if they are really mean and we get 5 emails from someone saying they're mean, they're generally out from FemCity. So they're only nice people here. Our virtual networking, again, there's on Wednesdays. That's free for you as well. We ask you to share a win. We also ask you to send gratitude for another woman. And then we also ask you to share an ask. So in the format of itself, you're able to share how you've moved the needle, and we'd love to celebrate you there as well. And then if you want to reach out to a fellow femme, post it on the Facebook group. Hey, I'm looking for an accountability partner. I'm looking to write a book. Anybody else doing the same thing? Or I'm looking to run a 5K, or I'm looking to make a key lime pie. Whatever it is that you're working on, feel free to use that Facebook group to find an accountability partner. Again, everyone in that group is very sweet and kind. Additional, so these are resources, but that have a fee. So I just want to separate those. So we do have the FemCity guidebook. It's $15. You can find it on Amazon. It's a planner. It walks you through every single day. There are some intentional prompts there. I wrote it. It's all from love. There's worksheets. There's a money journal as well where you can track your wealth. That is also a really good support system for you as well. We have an accountability program that we just started yesterday. If you want to join us, I can give you a $6 coupon off because it's $60 for the 4 weeks. We meet every Monday and we meet every Wednesday. And that's a little bit more in detail because we go through blocks that you might be having. We work on the wealth mindset. It's a little bit more connection because I meet with them Mondays and Wednesdays for 30 to 45 minutes. So there's that. And then, of course, there's a one-on-one coaching, which is more expensive. It's not for everyone, but if you do want to do one-on-one, it's there. I also offer a free group coaching for our members. It's on the 4th Tuesday of every month at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So that's included in your membership. So you don't have to pay anything for that. It's part of it. Hop in, pick my brain. Be like, Violet, I'm going through this. I have a block. What do you think? Use that time also as one of your free resources as part of your membership. So any questions, you have my email there. I'm going to stop my share and then we can chat a little bit about thoughts that you have. All right. That little baby is so sweet. Oh my gosh. Any questions that you all have, any aha moments? If you're shy and you don't want anyone to see your question, now is the time that you can message me privately and I will answer your question without revealing your name. So you always feel like it's a safe space for you. So let's see. Okay, so Paige said she'd love to connect with everyone on Instagram. I love that. We do Instagram trains on a Facebook group every once in a while. So it's a really great activity to do, but absolutely follow each other, stay connected. I love when you all make friends with each other. That makes me happy. So anyone want to share what their goal was? Okay. All right. I don't hear anything. So homework, right? Work on your homework. If you feel like you want to email it to me, that's fine. Just make sure you do it. Go ahead, Adriana.
Hi. I just wanted to thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm joining FemCity, so I'm very excited
Yay!
that Paola brought me in. So I'm excited to meet all you lovely ladies. And this is my year where I've worked in content creation for a long time. I still work for Fortune 60 in doing that. And this year, I really, really, really want to go into not just content creation, but also speaking. I'm a Toastmaster. I've done competitions and all of that stuff, but I've never been paid to speak. And I really want to get paid to speak. And that's something that I don't know why has been like people ask me to. I've been, what's it called? Like a, a guest lecturer at UM, at FIU, at all of these places. I've spoken at different conferences and things, but always as a guest. And that's driving me crazy. So it's like I know I have something really great to contribute, and but I don't have the business model, for
Yeah.
it. So I don't know what that is. I don't know what that looks like. I know how to do the content strategy and content creation thing. I do it every day, 9 to 5. You know, but how to make that transition to that other type of business, and I don't even know what that business model looks like. So that's my goal for the Q1 for the next 3 months. That's where I'm
Okay.
going.
So I would love for you to hop on the group coaching when I do that, because generally it's a handful of women and we can really noodle and go a little bit deeper into that. I think for you, just to clarify what you're working on for January, I think for you is, how do I become a sought after speaker? Would that be
Yes,
something that would be your goal? Okay. All
yes.
right. So that's going to be your goal. And then you're going to come up with your 3 to 5 action steps. So homework
Mm-hmm.
might be reaching out to friends that have done it to see like how they've done it. And then just creating a 3 to 5. You can add, if you are able to join the group coaching session with the femmes, you could add that as your action plan, because we can definitely talk about
Sure.
that. I can share with you what has worked for me. But 3 to 5 action steps, and then you're going to work on your time block as to when you're going to do it. Again, you have a very challenging schedule, right? Because you have a full-time job. So thinking about, is it going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 7 until 9 o'clock, like whatever, or maybe it's you're an early morning and you wake up at 4 in the morning. I know now with midlife, I'm like 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes my best ideas come at 4 in the morning. So whatever works for you, but those are the homework pieces that I would just say to work on, so that you, by the end of the month, you have at least a plan in place and you have tools prepared. I would say this month would probably be creating the foundation for you
Yeah. Yeah.
to level up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Messaging is the big one too. That I'm just trying to figure out. Well, okay, what? Because I got
Well,
too many interests, so I need to like kind of narrow it
yeah,
down.
yeah.
So
Just do the foundation as to like, because some of the things that you'll have to think about are like, and for other months when you're working on different parts of this vision that you have for yourself for 2026, also think about the topics that you'll cover, and then creating a web page for that where it has the topics on there, and then pitching yourself into like there's all this other stuff, but right now I think there's the foundation needs to be created.
yeah.
Creating your system so that you have that solid, and then you're able to use that as your platform to launch.
Thank
Good.
you.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for you. Go ahead, Carly.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year.
New
I guess
Year.
the first thing that I wanted to ask is how to sign up for your like that coaching. Is it in the
Okay.
Facebook group or is it online?
Yeah, let me share my screen with you. I'm a visual person. I need to
Yeah.
see it. I know probably everyone's like, why are you sharing your screen? But let me just cancel out this. And we do a member orientation also. Actually, it would help you
Yeah.
if I shared my screen. I'm like, realize I didn't share it. We do a member orientation every month. It's going to be next Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So you can always join us.
Yeah, I'll definitely join that too. That's
Yeah,
great.
here's the, hold on, my website, my Wi-Fi is so slow, probably because I have 20 tabs open. Okay, so this is the cheat sheet. So if you want to see what's coming up for FemCity, kind of come down to the bottom. I'm going to go a little slow so you guys don't get sick and nauseous with me going fast. All right, so here are the live online sessions. So you'll see like, this is today, once the images pop up. So you have like all the things that we have coming up right here.
Yeah.
Let me close these out. My
Okay.
beautiful fabric.
No, that's great.
All right, so this is easy for you to see like what we have coming up. this week,
Yeah.
right? Then you have, if you're in, if it goes down a little bit further, this is for local members. So these are like in-person events. And then below, if you're in the global program, this is what we have for global members, which is a little bit more. And then all of the replays. So this, as an example, will be featured here. If you don't have time to join us for the member orientation next month, you can always watch the replay here. So this is what kind of like the latest is. And then I know I had the worksheets. Okay, here's the worksheet that I was talking about. So you can actually just click on it here and you can look at it there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If you want to see like further down the line, there are little arrows where you can kind of scan through to see, like there's little arrows here. So you can kind of see like what else is coming up.
Right.
Also, you can go to the portal. The portal has more there. It's the same thing, but you can then kind of look to see like it has more worksheets and things like that. So the portal is there. Make sure that you're logged in, because if you're not logged in, it's going to bounce back and it's going to tell you to join. And you're going to be like, I did join, but you just have to log in because those are all member protected areas.
Great.
Okay. Yeah. And the virtual networking, the virtual networking, you don't have to register, it just has the Zoom link there.
Gotcha.
Bye, Becky. I know Becky's got to head out. Great. Any other questions you all have?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Great. And that baby is so cute, Carly. Oh my gosh. It's just so
She
yummy.
is the cutest thing ever.
Thank you.
Oh my
gosh.
goodness.
We're getting some one-on-one time after the kids went back to sleep. Ouch, sorry.
Yeah, all babies do that. Yeah. My son used to do it from the front of my head, which I have very thin hair here, even at that age. I was like, that's why I have very little hair. Leave it there. All right, ladies.
Yeah.
Usually from the front. Anything you need, let me know. Again, we do the membership orientation. I send out an email every Sunday, and it has a list of everything that we have free that week. So you can just look at the Sunday email also, and it's linked. So it makes it really easy. The top part is local members, which are also trial members. And then the bottom is global members. So, and then tomorrow I'll email this out and I'll attach the worksheet so you have it nice and ready in case you want to watch it again. So anyway, I love you all. I'm excited for 2026, and anything you need, let us know. Right.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.